Hello, this is Callie Kekua Weaver at Thoughts at Midnight. We have your co-host,
Alexander Hodge.
your editor,
Kevin Gallinger.
and other co-hosts.
Christopher Clayton, BA.
Okay, this is Thoughts at Midnight.
Woo! Let's go! So, praise the sun. Right on. So, we got some stories to tell. Callie here is on her way to making moves to her freedom and her life. About damn time she made some maneuvers in her life. So, Callie, go ahead and tell us what's going on. So, you got your stuff packed. You showed us a little earlier. You're going to be making maneuvers into kind of a fresh start. So go ahead and share what's going on with that.
So I have been going through a battle with my guardians for through court. Not a very positive situation with my guardians. And I am looking towards moving out of my residential services I am in now. Not allowed to say the name per HIPAA reasons, but I'm really excited.
Right on. So your next maneuvers from here, and Callie, what's good for you about this is that you've got us. You've got a community set up here. You got people that got your back. Got a new family set up for the old family. Hopefully, I'm hoping that this works out. I know it's been a little crazy, and Callie, you've had to take a little bit of your body went into kind of self-defense mode for a little bit. So, but you look well rested. It looks like you're handling it very well. So, I have a lot of respect for you for that. Also. That reminds me, I was at Granger Church last Saturday, and I go to an activity at Granger Church every Saturday with a group of challenged individuals, and we do this segment called Praises and Prayers. I did both a praise and a prayer on your part, Callie. I mentioned you at Granger Church, and I mentioned I have a lot of respect for what you're doing. I probably couldn't do this independently because I'm still codependent on my family, and I'm very thankful for my family. Like, my situation is a little bit different. I have a lot of respect for you, Callie. It's been interesting to see where this is headed, and it fascinates me how people grow up, you know. Speaking of which, Chris, I wanted to mention something to you too, bud.
Yeah.
You honestly, so ever since we met, I like, the thing is, I never had a younger brother. Never really had a younger brother growing up. All of my most immediate male family members all of them were older than I was. So when I jab at you for being young, or when I try to bring you back around to and I love how you jab back sometimes. It keeps me grounded. It keeps my feet on the ground. I like how you called me a lucky ass yesterday, because that reminded me of something. What was it? I think I texted it to you. I texted you a short TikTok where he was explaining how competent people we love sharing.
Right.
We don't we're not greedy. We're not selfish. There's no, even though I might come across as a bit of an asshole, partly because I'm older. I'm 28. I'm almost reaching into my 30s.
I'm gonna be 29.
Yeah, and so kind of our tolerances do go down for growth scale as we age. But dude, seriously, you've been pretty much the closest thing to a younger brother I've had. So younger brother mentor, older brother mentor relationship that I've had. Usually in my family, it's been reciprocated through my cousins. I just got to see my cousin Nick too, by the way. I was celebrating my mom's birthday. We went to Soho, the Japanese grill.
You went again?
Yeah, and you know what's so funny about that, dude? that I just went like last Thursday. I had no idea this was coming. My mom picked Soho. I didn't know. I didn't know if she was going to pick Soho.
As her restaurant of choice.
Yeah, for her birthday. Yeah. So she picked the restaurant, and I was just there. Yeah. So I got to go twice. So it was awesome. So my mom's birthday. Wish her happy birthday. Getting into their latter years of their life. It's yeah.
It's just a fact of life, you know. And you said something about, you know, I'm the closest thing to me, younger brother. You're the closest thing that I've ever gotten to an older brother, even though I have siblings of my own.
Yeah.
And I consider them siblings. You're the closest thing that, you know, actually, you know, consider to be an older brother, you know, and you know, you all are truly family because,
Yep.
you know, in my eyes, I never really grew up with a productive family. We were all just kind of, you know, big, fat, and lazy. And then, you know, my mom and sister, I'm a late bloomer. I'm still trying to get around in my life.
Yeah.
But everyone else has grown up and I'm left here.
Callie,
I'm still trying to grow up on my own, you know.
I heard a good quote on Facebook one time. It ran in the family until it ran into me.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know, this is why I like what Dan Penney says about yeah, didn't come from your family, didn't come from your mom, didn't come from your grandparents. You chose those 5 mates. You know, he talks about the average of the. This is another dude that talks about the average of the 5 friends, but we chose this path. When it comes down to it, and especially as we get older, we start making more and more choices like this. So realistically, we are all individuals. We just got to go through the individuation process as we age. This is what Carl Jung talks about in some of his works as the individuation process. That process of becoming an autonomous decision-making. You know, like this is why you know, more recent self-help YouTubers talk about the killing of the father figure, of the judge. We kind of become our own judge. We got to become our own parent. Yeah. And it reveals itself more and more as you get older. Kind of scary because one of the things that scares the crap out of me is because my mom's birthday coming up. It's getting closer. I hate to put a kind of a bleak picture on it, but I know it's coming. It's a fact of life. And my goal is to prepare not only me, but not just for myself, but for those around me as well. So I'm ready to be an individual, to make it on my own. So why, Callie, I have a lot of respect for you for going for removal of guardianship, because I think I'm kind of on some kind of guardianship role through my dad because of the medical incident I had in 12th grade, psychosis. So I got some kind of like medical cushion, so to speak. It's not exactly a full-on guardianship, kind of, but so I do have something. I asked my dad about this, and they did go to some kind of talked about it with some kind of lawyer or something to get that squared away. Thank God that happened. Like, my situation is a little bit different than yours, Callie, because I built the relationship with my family over time. And this is something that Jocko Willing talks about, is building with the relationships, not always tearing them down. And that's kind of where the story of the rescuing your father from the belly of the whale comes in, you know, because eventually you may have to take care of your own father. That way you have to master caring for yourself and not giving a crap what people think of you. You got to master taking care of yourself. Then once you master that, you can expand outward into taking care of your family, to return the favor, to pay it forward, and then maybe even expand it to taking care of yourself and community-wise with your work and through like what we've got going on here. It's also, what I like what you're doing with the website and the podcast, starting this up. Yeah. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, you know, with the way that you said, like, you know, you're proud of you kind of, you're happy with the way things that are going, like with how I have finally stood up for myself for the guardianship and stuff. Well, I want to let you know too that I'm actually really proud of you for how far you've come too.
Yeah.
Really. And with the fact that you're growing, it's helping me figure out, you know, by example, you're leading by example.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to, you know, see what you're doing right and think maybe that would work for me, and I give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
And so we definitely learn off of each other.
Yep. It's so cool to have the capability to do that. Have our eyes and ears open to and learn, have the ability to learn from that. Which is, you know, Chris, is something that I wanted to mention again to you, because you seem to get angry when lessons come your way that you don't fully understand. Like, you don't. I want to make sure with you, Chris, you don't mind me bringing up the whole tax situation that you were in the process of learning about. If you don't want to talk about that, then we'll leave it at that. But it's up to you, man.
Oh, taxes are a pain.
It's because I want to get into the fact of letting the universe teach us, letting kind of our mind expand to let the universe kind of teach us what needs to be taught, without getting reactionary or pissed off, or, you know, even deflecting it. Some people just flat out deflect the lesson that needed to be learned. That's ego. That's an ego problem. And there's a couple other things too, probably Dunning-Kruger effect among other things. So if you don't want to dive into that, Christopher, that's okay too. Yeah, what's up, Callie?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I want to bring this up. Did I mention about like vetting friends, say that we meet online? Because in 2020, a lot of people are meeting each other through online. And I wanted to explain where I got this shirt from. So Callie, I don't know, I can't remember if I already told you about this, did I?
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, this is it.
Nice.
Isn't it cool? So, God bless you, Ottawa. Thank you. If this podcast ever reaches you, shout out to you. Thank you. Story of how this happened. I was on Facebook checking my feed, and notifications, it was like all the way down the board. I'm like, oh, who's this? Somebody likes what I'm doing. Somebody's been stalking my Facebook page now. So and then so I go one day I was at the beach, and she messages me and said, "Hey Alex, how you doing?" And I said, "Hey, I'm doing awesome. I'm actually at the beach." And then we started messaging back and forth. She said, "Oh, can you send me pictures?" I sent her pictures of the beach. And then one day, one of the ways that I've learned to vet people when meeting them online is when they get sexual, right away, red flag. Also, red flag number 2, if they're not willing to, I guess, or red flag number 2 would be if they immediately ask if you have Cash App, or WhatsApp is another frequent one. And then usually when I'm asked about
Nigerian scammers.
Yeah, so what we got to be aware of is these certain questions and patterns that come up, because I've had 3 women before this during 2020 that it was the same pattern where they would ask if I have WhatsApp. That was one of the things that all three of them would ask. And then the other one was asking about where I'm from, which is typical. I mean, yeah. But usually the pattern goes that I tell them, they ask what I do, and then I ask what they do, and they tell me, oh, lost my job because of pandemic. Am having problems with medical, either be because of menstruation or otherwise, and need money. That's usually what it comes down to towards the end, right? Yeah. I had three women on Instagram that was going on in 2020. So if anyone sees this pattern on Instagram, do not fall for it. A little warning to shout out to the audience out there: don't fall for that. But this woman,
get those
but she
24/7.
But there was no red flags with this one though. So Ottawa, that's her name by the way, Ottawa. She there's nothing sexual, nothing like nothing weird. She wanted a friend to talk to. She just wanted to meet someone new. I'm like, this seems normal, right? So I texted her back and I said, yeah, it's going great. And she was on. Then she managed to get me on video chat. So that was a barrier that was opened up. It's like, yes, okay, she's a real person. It's like we're actually video chatting now, which the three scammers from the other three that were not willing to do that. Like, and I was driving back from the beach and we video chatted for a bit. She's awesome. I found out that she's from Ghana, and started asking me what my tastes in music are. We're starting to get to know each other. Just a good friend to talk to, And she asked if I was single, and I said, well, that's complicated. So we started to get to know each other, and just as a friend, maybe she was looking for a little bit more or less, or who knows. She did ask if I was single though, so there's that. Maybe a little spark going on there. She's looking for somebody, looking for love. So back to how I got the jersey. She asked me the questions about like, what's my favorite soccer team? I thought, well, my dad likes Manchester United. So any Manchester United fans in England out there, sorry. I responded to Ottawa. I said, Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich. I'll explain my dad's side of that in a moment. So she asks, what was my favorite number on a jersey? I'm thinking jersey. Wait a minute, right? She asked me what my nickname is. I said Big Al because I got that nickname from work. I'm like, I'm thinking, is she getting me a jersey? So I scroll back through the messages back up, and I'm like, sure enough, there it is. Boom. She says, I'm buying you a jersey. I'm like, what? What am I gonna do, right? Accept the gifts as they come. It's respectful. It's respectful to accept gifts as they come, right? So I'm accepting it, and it's awesome how it turned out. So sure enough, she sends me a picture of like a version of this. It was a different color on the picture, and then she sends me a picture of. I also got this, and it's got my nickname on it and my name. And she asked what my favorite quote was. And I thought, well, Jordan Peterson, he's got a good one. And compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Jordan Peterson. Holy cow. And last night I come home from work, and she texted me while I was working, and she said it arrived. So she was tracking it the whole way it was getting here. And thank you so much. God, I'm going to pay this forward somehow. I don't know how. So and then sure enough, it's right outside my door, little package there. Got this and this, and a note, like a little like God bless you kind of note. I was like, oh. So I just made a new friend. So
Does your jersey have a back?
it does, yes. So let's turn around here.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I love it.
That's cool.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I mean, now I see the quote, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Okay, this was a lion that's coming up to greet me and cuddle with me, right? So now this was definitely a very nice, it was act of kindness out of the blue. Like how often does this happen, you know? So it was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and all I get is fake profiles of real people.
Oh, there's so many of them. It's really hard to I guess you can say vet a fake one from the real one. But I think when they video chat with you, or when they get to the point where they're actually talking to you like a normal person, without any kind of like sexual incentive or monetary incentive, then
What if they're a sex
you know-
offender?
that too, yeah. So it's so hard to tell. That's why I was kind of hesitant at
Because
first. So
I
that,
had a
you know.
GIF of me, made one, and
I-
show it on there,
yeah,
and
I don't-
threatened me with money to spread it around.
yeah. And see, I don't know what I mean. I don't know what things are so much like in Ghana, but that was just a straight up act of kindness to a person that was just met as a friend. And I mean, I asked her one day what are the people like what's the culture like in Ghana. So they're very welcoming. They're very protective of each other, and very they're good people, it sounds like. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Atwa, you're awesome. So shout out to you. So I showed this to my dad today at my mom's birthday, and he's like, Bayern Munich, huh? So yeah, it's kind of the first thing that came to mind. He's a Manchester United fan, so I was wondering how he was going to take that. So there are some people that we meet online that are real every now and then. I think there still are.
It's hard for me though. I get scam texts all the time.
Yeah.
I got you.
Not a single one of them is real.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of wanted to. So Alex, the background with the whole guardianship, the case, and all that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I found out that one of my disorders, borderline personality disorder, the one that fears abandonment and stuff like that, that is actually a trauma response disorder.
Oh, I
Yeah.
read about that. I looked at everything about that way beforehand.
Disorder. There are some darn good therapist TikToks out there. There are. I get all of these like emotional verbal abuse kind of TikToks, like where people are like, these are the kind of conversations, and it actually really helps.
Yeah. TikTok has become a really useful tool for this. I like where TikTok is headed in that direction, where they use these little videos, little reminders, little self-help stuff, and I think it definitely, and also I've noticed they open up a good awareness of the disorder itself. So yeah, TikTok has been nailing it.
Well, nobody remembers Vine. You never heard of it, have you?
I think I remember Vine.
Vine
were you
is
guys old
what
enough?
TikToks is.
I remember
Mhm.
Vine. That is actually pretty awesome. It was basically these short, funny videos. Whereas TikTok is like lip syncing and stuff. So it's a little bit, but it's roughly the same idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's a little shout out to one of the therapists that really helped me on TikTok. She's a TikTok therapist. She actually has a license in therapy. Wanted to give her a shout out. Her username is Therapy Ghost. So you guys go on and check her out. I've been watching all of her videos and it helps so much, especially if you're really if you go through emotional or mental abuse due to being trans or just anything out there. She covers those topics.
Wow.
So shout out to her.
And I
yeah.
follow everyone.
Heck yeah.
Bob and Brad, physical therapists, medical people, drug facts, people who have tried psychedelics, and people who have been in prison shows. I follow about real prisons and how they and I follow a lot of that, even the mental health stuff.
So Alex, how many followers do you have right now?
Followers on. I'm gonna have to actually look at it to have a look. Is that all right?
Yeah,
I know one of the
Mhm.
things.
absolutely. I know you've got some great videos out there, and if you want to, you can share your TikTok name on here.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good idea. Little self marketing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's still starting up. I shut it off so I don't get notified.
Yeah, no wonder.
I have mine, but I don't use it.
All right. It's at Alexander Hodge 65. At Alexander Hodge 65.
And you spell Hodge Hodge. So Alexander Hodge. Which was
65.
65.
Yep. And
Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. So the
this
question is,
one,
who should you defeat in the final
I
analysis?
shared.
The
This is
answer
one of my
you
workouts
should
that I
defeat
do,
yourself,
and
because you're the
this
one
is in the
that has all
rain.
your advantages and disadvantages. So if you want to compete fairly with someone,
Bodybuilders
then you
do
should be
that.
competing with you.
I
Yeah.
already know that.
Compare yourself to who you were yesterday,
So-
not to someone else
How many followers do you got? Let's see his number.
Oh yeah.
today.
So I got about only 74 followers, but I got plenty of likes. I got about 1,306 likes so far on my hits. So that's my TikTok right there.
Wow.
Mhm.
But I wanted to bring this up. Callie, did I invite you onto David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me? Yeah, I did. You're on there, aren't you?
The thing is, I've had to deactivate my Facebook.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Only Messenger works.
That's right. But I wanted to bring this up. I joined a fitness group. We can bring it back around to functionality and exercise. That was a popular one that we did back when we first started too. I want to check out our other podcasts. A Day to Be Me. I think one of our most popular ones was exercise and functionality and how that translates into mental health.
Yeah.
So I joined this group on Facebook. David Goggins Can't Hurt Me. It's a fitness, motivational, and accountability group. And I posted that cinder block workout that I do. And I got people writing me. It got up to here it is. I don't know if you guys can see that, but
Holy crap.
I got, yeah. So this got many like views, and it's got like 292 likes, and I got people writing me, just encouraging me to stay hard, taking souls, hell yeah, brother, let's go. And I got even people that were asking me like, what is that? Like, what am I doing with that movement? And that's the guy that actually wrote back, and I said, transverse plane of motion. And the guy that
Transfers each energy from each arm to stretch it too.
exactly. And the guy that replied actually nailed it on the butt about Pat McNamara. That's where I got that cinder. That's where I learned that cinder block workout from.
I follow bodybuilders like Furious Pete. He also does food challenges.
Right on. We kind of become the average of who we follow too, don't we? Like the
Also
influencers that we
know
follow.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's a bodybuilder
Yeah.
and governor.
Heck yeah. We kind of become an average of people that we follow and that we read about too, especially when it comes to reading and listening to their stuff and podcasts and stuff. We kind of become the average of that too. It's almost like in a way you're hanging out with them.
Have you ever noticed, like, I don't know if this just happens to me, but I'll do it from my point of view. So I'll be going into the movie theaters, and I'll be, room's dark, super intent on the movie. But when you're walking out, does this happen to anyone else where you feel like you're the main character? Like where you kind of take on that personality shift?
Yes. And I believe that has something to do with the development of the persona. So the more we develop our character that works for us, we do kind of feel like we're a character in a movie. Like when we go out in the public. Yeah, I get that sometimes.
Play more personified royal.
I sure do. Like today, I'm wearing this. I feel like an athlete. I actually feel like a soccer player,
FIFA.
FIFA, yeah. They made some good games too back in the day. Back when the EA was EA the way it was supposed to be.
No, EA's always been like that. They
Really?
do
Even
deal with Call of Duty.
or even during the soccer, they made some
They
pretty
deal
good
with
sports.
the soccer. They deal with it with NFL, NHL. They didn't deal with the golf games.
Yeah.
EA is basically give us money, loot boxes. That's all it is.
That was it. Loot boxes and stuff. Yeah.
It's been like that for years.
Okay, I didn't know
Even
that.
in Battlefield.
Yeah, but they got found out though, didn't they? That's why I think it's really good to be honest. Even
They're never going to be honest. They literally destroy their employees. They literally fire everyone so the boss can get a big cut. That's basically how it works there.
Yeah, sounds like
Blizzard.
Sounds like they got some psychopaths working in the corporate in that area. Uh-oh.
Well, that's how it is. It's gonna be like that for years to come. It still is. And they developed ways to psychologically put people into gambling. So is mobile phones.
But they got found out though. We know about EA. We know some of the things that they're doing. So we can learn from that. We can do better.
Well, they are easy to hack.
Really? Okay. Well, let's not. You're giving some. You might be giving some ideas. You might be giving some ideas, man. You might be giving some people ideas.
Doesn't matter. The 780 gigabytes is already leaked.
All right.
Yeah.
Ah. Oh, wait. Hey
Chris
guys,
just sent a message.
he did?
One sec, technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard back from my buddy Justin in a while.
Oh,
It looks like he may have got his desktop in order.
Nice.
oh,
It just popped up in the bottom of my screen here. It says he's playing on Steam again. Good to see he's back.
yeah.
So I was wondering how he was doing. He sent me a message a while back wondering if Logan Center was going to open back up in person again. I really don't know. Since pandemic has hit.
And the
Um,
Delta variant.
yeah, I just watched Michaela Peterson podcast or Michaela Peterson was coming out about that. She got the Delta variant.
Yeah.
She got
it
she
gets
got it.
past the vaccines.
Scary. So, yeah. Well, that's what happens when we tamper with nature.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I wanted to bring it around, a little change of topic. Forms of stoicism. One of the things that we were talking about earlier was letting the universe teach us, being open-eared and open-minded to things that are based in reality. And it's a form of stoicism, isn't it, to be teachable?
Yeah. It is.
So, you all right over there, Callie?
Yeah.
Getting really anxious.
Yeah. So what's up?
I don't know. I go through these times where like my mind will be like, I don't know. I have anxiety.
Yeah.
And it happens at random moments that I try not to let it happen, but when it does, I notice one thing is I get really fidgety and I pick at my skin and stuff like that. So
That's what I've been doing too.
really right now.
Hmm.
Can't figure out what. Like,
Well, let's bring it around. So, so Callie, like, do you want to show around your room? So you got some stuff packed?
Yeah,
mm,
I got all my stuff packed.
Mobility
Awesome.
equals survivability. So, on the move again. So,
not me. I've been stuck here forever.
hmm.
Nowhere to go but stay in my house.
I found your Facebook, dude. I saw a picture. What was it? It was you and Callie. Look, you were at some kind of like workplace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Say the name, it's HIPAA. But yeah.
Yeah. So, Bud, just remember, it wasn't quite always like that. I saw some pictures of you, dude. You were out there getting after it.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah. You can get it back.
Well, my mom doesn't want me to work.
Hmm.
I
Well.
have nowhere to go because Riley's truck's busted, the frame, that's totaled,
Hmm.
and our car's busted, so that's gone. And that's basically it now.
Okay. So just batten down the hatches until the storm blows over.
However long that be, and that's usually more years.
Yeah. That sounded good. Snack crack a pot Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is
Yeah.
currently 9:16.
Yeah.
You think we should wrap it up?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and
For
wrap this
like
up.
an hour.
Go and
and-
promote your website and promote your book. And don't forget to mention your book. So take it
Okay.
away, Callie.
So there is a new cover design, a new name to the book. It's called Coffee for the Soul by Sarah Koss. Go ahead and look it up. Really excited to let our audience see that. We are currently going through a few domain transfers with our website. Right now it is thoughtsatmidnighttalkshow.wordpress.com.
Right on.
Yep. Go there.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.